All right, the bond credit rating agency Moody Rating recently downgraded Israel's credit rating by 2 notches, stating the, quote, geopolitical risk has intensified significantly, end quote. Now, Moody has faced allegations of political bias before. Might not remember this, but back in 2016, they warned that a Trump presidency would significantly hurt the U.S. economy. Well, were they wrong? So is this more political bias? Joining me now is Mark Rubin, Executive Director of Israel Bonds, which has been delivering returns to investors, rain or shine, for more than 70 years. Mark, welcome to Washington Watch.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
So, Mark, let me ask you this question. This downgrade from Moody, not only did they cite the geopolitical environment right now with the war going on now for a year, but they also pointed to judicial reforms. Is this politically motivated? What's behind this?
Well, I don't think I can comment on what motivates them, but I can comment on the fact that we have seen record sales of Israel bonds since October 7th. People have demonstrated their full faith in the state of Israel to always return on the investment, both the interest required as well as the principal when the bond matures. In fact, throughout its entire time of selling bonds since 1951, Israel Bonds has never missed a payment of principal or interest, whether in times of war or relative peace.
Well, let's talk about the bonds, because you and I, we actually had lunch together at a Bojangles not too long ago. My kids will love to hear that. But the reality is this is a great way to stand with Israel. And we're seeing churches, businesses, governments, state governments standing with Israel through this difficult time by buying bonds. Talk about that.
Well, I have to say that we have unprecedented support, and I'm proud to say that the College of the Ozarks made a significant investment in Israel bonds. You may know them. They're a small Christian college in Missouri. We welcome them to participate in our program. And also, we are bipartisan in the support that we receive from governments across the country. For example, the state Treasurer of Florida, Jimmy Patronis, is a Republican, and he, on behalf of the state of Florida's Treasury, invested over $250 million in Israel bonds since October 7th. And even locally in Palm Beach County, Florida, Joe Abruzzo, a Democrat, is now the largest investor of Israel bonds in our history. Palm Beach County owns a portfolio of $700 million, which is a record, and he was thanked personally by the president of Israel for making that record amount of investment.
I think my home state of Louisiana has also bought bonds, Israel bonds.
Yes, sir.
It's a financial investment. I mean, this is not it is supporting Israel at a time of need, but all of these entities are getting a return on this investment.
Yes, absolutely. And they are both our state treasurer and our clerk, who makes the investments here in Florida, are quick to note that the most important thing is the fiduciary responsibility they have. And since we have never missed a payment and we pay above U.S. Treasuries, these are things that qualify them to be a qualified investment that they are happy to make. Because I can tell you that Palm Beach County is going to announce a record amount on their investment portfolio for 2024 of over $225 million. And they attribute a lot of that to Israel bonds, which they made over $35 million from in the past year.
Mark, let me ask you this question. How is Israel Bonds observing the one-year anniversary that is coming up next week of the Hamas brutal terrorist attack on Israel?
Right. We're having a special program on October 7th. We announced this week the launch of a new Invest in Life. It's a global initiative dedicated to commemorating October 7th. The campaign invites supporters to invest $107 or more in Israel bonds as a tribute to the fallen soldiers and hostages who are still in captivity, the murdered civilians and the survivors of that day, as well as those affected by the ongoing war against terrorism. And on that solemn anniversary of October 7th, Israel Bonds and ILTV joined forces to share valiant stories, honor precious lives massacred on that horrific day, and commend the brave defenders who have safeguarded Israel's security for the last 365 days. You can, if you'd like to see it, You can register for it at https://bit.ly4EQOA41. It's up on the Israel Bonds website at israelbonds.com for further information. And we'd love to welcome all of your viewers to join us in that special program.
Israelbonds.com. Israelbonds.com. Folks, that's where you can go. If you missed that, go to tonyperkins.com. We'll have a link up there as well. But I strongly encourage you to make an investment in the nation of Israel. Stand with them. This is it's a very practical way to do this, to make a bold statement, but you're also getting a return on your investment. Mark Rubin, I want to thank you for joining us, and look forward to talking to you again in the future, and look forward to helping you reach, even, we didn't get to talk about it, but churches can make significant investments as well. And we'll talk about that next time. Mark, thanks for being with us.
Thanks for having me. Thank you so much.